Casey here with Outdoor Adventure Club, and we are at the Burr Oak Trailhead in Gloucester, Ohio, which is Athens County. Southern Ohio trail down here. Not a lot of backpacking in Ohio. This is one of the few places where you can really do some overnighters. So I'm about 3 hours late. I wanted to be here a lot earlier, but kind of life intervened yesterday. My intention was to come home and get my batteries done and get my food prepped and everything set, but I got a call about an hour before work was out, and we had some leaky pipes in the basement, so I had to go to the hardware store and get some copper pipe and do a little welding last night. So kind of put me behind. I was up a little later than I wanted, and I got up a little later than I wanted, but we're here. It rained all night, but I've been here for a couple minutes and I walked around a little bit. It's not as muddy as I thought it would be. It's been pretty dry, so I'm guessing the ground soaked it up. It's nice and sunny right now, 50 degrees. It's really perfect backpacking weather. It's going to get down to about 35 tonight, so it's going to be pretty chilly. I packed for that. Normally 35 isn't a big deal. However, this is the first really cold night we've had since wintertime. So it might be a bit of a challenge as I acclimate myself to some cold weather. But I've got plenty of stuff. I'm sure I'll be fine. I will say I got up this morning. It was about 40 degrees. And I was loading up the car and I was ready to come out. And I'm like, man, it is cold. And initially I was like, I don't need a hoodie or anything. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and need a hoodie. So I got a North Face fleece that I slapped in my pack at the end there right before I left. So the plan today, we're late, which is bad, which means I'll probably be hiking into the night to get to my first point. With Burr Oak, we have a couple challenges. One is where you can stay. You can't just sleep anywhere. We're kind of on the outskirts of Wayne National Forest, so I need to get to Wayne National Forest to, set up shop. So I don't know if I'm going to end up going to Wildcat Hollow. A lot of it depends on how fast I can move through this trail, because I'm going to try and hoof it today. One of the other challenges we have is water. The water here is not great, even when you're filtering, so I packed a lot of water. I have probably 6 liters of water, I think, on me right now, which is a lot, so that's pretty heavy. In fact, most of my gear weight, at least a quarter of it's probably water at this point. My food and everything else really doesn't weigh that much, so that's always a challenge when I come out here. I've been here before. I've never hiked the full loop, so this will be the first time I've hiked around the entire Burr Oak Lake. I've only done parts of it up into Wildcat Hollow, but I was looking, and I was going to go to Wildcat today because it's a shorter hike. It's a little flatter. I could do it overnight, stuff like that, but I've got Monday off, so I've got an extra day. But I looked online, and there are a ton of Wildcat Hollow. In fact, there's some really good Wildcat Hollow videos out there. I can't remember the name of these 4 guys that went out. They shot some great video, have a really nice video on YouTube for that. So I looked, and Burr Oak has nothing. I didn't see anything, so I figured, heck, let's do the Burr Oak hike and we'll check it out. So a couple challenges out here. One is going to be how cold it is tonight. The other is how muddy the trail is. Around here it seems okay, but that's not a real good indicator of how muddy the trail is going to be. Another challenge we have is where we're going to be sleeping, because I may have to hike into the night or cut myself short and sleep at a public campground and pay for that, which is like 10 bucks, but which isn't the end of the world. But I don't like to have to pay when I camp. I'd like to do it for free, because that's like, to me, that's part of backpacking and hiking and camping. So that's another challenge. Another is last time I was here, Burr Oak, their trails are not super cleared. In fact, I ran into a couple areas where there were huge trees down that I had to hack like a tunnel through the limbs to try and snake my way through. It was pretty rough. It added like 45 minutes to my hike. I was with my daughter at the time, and she was super impatient and tired and hungry and all those things, which didn't help. But so how clear the trails are could be a real problem today. We'll see. And some of those things, I know the first couple miles will be very clear. It's when you really get out there, because not a lot of people come out here. So, which is nice, because there aren't a lot of people out here. Although today, I cannot believe it, the parking lot is packed. It's a beautiful day to be out here. I'm kind of hoping someone leaves so I can get a parking spot, because I don't know where I'm going to park right now, which is a problem, especially for someone who's already 3 hours behind. Now I'm going to have to try and figure this out. There's only the handicap spot open, and I am not going to park there because I don't want to pay the $250 fine. I'm not interested in that, or getting my car towed out in the middle of what is pretty much nowhere. McConnellsville is kind of close, but there's really not much out here. So we have some challenges to overcome, but I've got lots of good stuff. I've got some new toys to play with that we'll look at as we go through. I've got my new gaiters on. I figured it'd be kind of wet out here, although it's kind of feeling like it's not. It's like the perfect day right now. So we're going to get set up here, find a place to park. and hit the dusty trail, or probably not that dusty today, hit the muddy trail. All right, I signed in with a little, you've got like a little ammunition canister with a notebook. You can put your name and your information in, so you kind of know where you're going. Sign back there says some of the trails may be underwater due to the rain, so we'll see what happens there, but it's time to hike. All right, we're just getting a little bit in here. I was able to get a parking spot, which is good. Some people just left. This place is hopping today. It's pretty cool. That's good. I'm glad people are out and enjoying the weather. It is absolutely beautiful out here today. We don't have the leaves changing quite yet. Just kind of get some yellows and browns, but nothing really pretty. So we're going to be following mostly yellow blazes. Blue is the Buckeye Trail. We're going to be following yellow as we make our way through here. So far the trail's been great. It's in great condition. So I'm thinking I can really hoof it and make some time. My first goal and my first kind of like time check is I need to get to there's a group camp area. Now there is water there. I think they shut it off in November. Watch out for some roots here. So there is water there if I were to need to get water. I've drank out of there before and didn't get sick, so that was good. So we're gonna get there, and that's kind of my first check because I can camp there for free. And if I'm making good time, I'm definitely going to plow through there. There's a boat dock after that I can camp at. That's, you have to pay. I think it's 10 bucks, I said. I got some cash on me. I can throw it in an envelope. But again, I don't like to pay. It's kind of like anti-camping to me a little bit. So we're going to hoof it through here real pretty. Let's take a good look. Lots of ridges. It's kind of a rolling Appalachian foothill type of a terrain here, which can be challenging in itself because it's not like you're climbing mountains, because you certainly aren't, but it's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of, I think this first section here has a couple thousand footers. They're between 800 and 1200 feet. So it can be pretty, it can drain you a little bit, but I can tell you I'm about 20 pounds lighter than the last time I was out here. And I feel like I'm in a lot better shape. So even with all the extra camera gear, because I've got ton of camera gear on me right now and the extra water, I think I should be able to make pretty good time. Let's take one last look here. It's called Burr Oak because there are a lot of Burr Oak trees here. I've only seen one pine tree, a lot of beech, hickory, stuff like that. It's a very pretty forest. Take a look. Ooh, got a little, you see a little hickory nut there, it looks like. I believe that's a hickory nut. I am not a biologist. This is something I'm working on, like doing research online and looking things up. And if it wasn't for the small waterfall in my basement last night that I had to repair, I was gonna put together a little guide of trees and mushrooms, although I don't think we're gonna see many mushrooms today, but if we do, that's cool. Just to kind of, I've identified just for fun and to help myself learn a little bit too. So we'll see what kind of cool things we come across today. Oh, here's a sign. I was going to shut the camera off, but there's a sign. Let's hustle to the sign. Low jog. Here we go. Low jog. Let's burn all these calories right now. We'll see what the old sign says. I think it has to do with flowers. Let's see. Forest wildflowers. Spring beauty. Large trillium. None of them are here right now because it's not springtime. I will say when I've come through here with my daughter before, This area, the wildflowers, smell like horse manure, which is pretty awful, but also kind of funny. Just came downhill, which means we get to go uphill. We've crossed a couple trail improvements here. We are at a split. We're gonna head towards the group camp area. That is our plan anyways. And so we're gonna go to the right. Let me double check here. Actually, you know what? The left follows the lake more and still goes to the dock. We'll go to the left. I think the left might be a little prettier. Normally I go to the right, but we'll give the left a shot today. Got some cool mushrooms here. Let's check them out. Beautiful mushrooms. These are called chicken of something or chicken stuff. I don't know their full name. I'm not going to eat them because I'm not 100% sure what they are, but they are super duper pretty. And I'm sweating already. One of my new toys on this trip is a new camera. Well, it's new to me. It's not a new camera. It's a used camera that I just bought. I'll show it to you here in just a second. Get it out if I got it in a waterproof case. Keep it nice and happy. Got a Nikon D3300. It's a pretty nice little camera. I really want to get a picture of these mushrooms. Kind of set her up here. Let's see what we got there. Kind of playing around with some different settings. I'm adjusting my aperture. And my shutter speed. We'll kind of see when I get home what turns out being the best situation there. It's a nice camera. It's got a lot of really different functions on it. So one of the new toys we'll be playing with on this trip, and one of the things that is a little extra added weight. Oh hey, fancy meeting you here. Camera that I set here a few minutes ago to then walk up the trail. So these trails, besides having blazes, every once in a while you also have a nice little sign. Like this one here. We are at E right now. There's a red connector to the right that I could take back to the White Blaze Trail. Now, earlier I was at C, I had a chance to go right or left, and I chose left. Get my breath here a second. Which is a little bit longer, but it's worth it so far just for that cool mushroom we saw. So I could go back over there if I wanted to. My next waypoint is F. F and G are real close, and then we're going to snake up there and stick to the lake. So besides having really nice blazes everywhere, there are also nice little signposts to help you know where you are. I've got the map and GPS and everything, so I'm not worried about getting lost out here. But if you're just out here day hiking, it's nice to have that kind of stuff. Well, let's keep moving. So we are almost to our next marker. I see some signs up ahead. It should be F, and then G is, I mean, you could throw a rock, I think, and hit the next waypoint of G. So we shall take a look at these signs. We get there. Coming out of a lowland area, I know from experience that I'm going uphill next, which is fine. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. So, welcome to F. Let's take a look at the sign. Made it to F, and quick little jaunt to G, and then 2.5 miles to H. Now, from going this path, instead of taking the white blaze from earlier, when the path branched off at C, I'm basically bypassing the group camp area and going straight to the dock. That's the plan here. I think where the sun is, I forgot my watch at home when I was running around this morning like an idiot, so I have no idea what time it is, but by looking at the sun, hasn't gone behind the hills yet. It's probably, I don't know, 2 o'clock or something like that. I've got till 6:30 before it starts to get really dark. So 2.5 miles of there, which is fine. And then another, I think another 2 miles from there to my first camping site, which is going to be probably Wildcat Hollow. I think I'm going to take a little extension over there. I'm going to double check my map when I get up to that the boat dock. We're going to kind of unload, double check the map, take a look at the GPS, and see where it is. On my map, it has actually, why am I just standing here? Let's get going. On my map, it has there's like a text. It's the official trail map, and it tells you like what you find at what waypoints, like going uphill, downhill. It tells you where you can camp, where you can camp to pay, and stuff like that. So once I get to the dock here in about 2.5 miles, I'll figure out what I need to do in terms of my camping situation. I think if I go to Wildcat Hollow, well, a couple problems with that. One, it's a little out of the way. I think it's like an extra mile out of my way. All right, chipmunk. The other problem is the campsites close to the parking area, close to the trailhead, tend to be filled with car campers. And nothing personal, but from my experience here, the car campers tend to be dirty and loud. And I'm not interested in either. You know, they park their car, walk in like 20 meters with their, you know, full-size propane grills and 3 cases of beer and a bunch of trash that they're gonna end up leaving behind, and make a lot of more noise and whoop it up. And I guess that's fine for them, but it's not really what I'm looking for out here. Whew. You ever see an old man huff and puff up a hill? As you're seeing it now. That's all right, it's good for me. Builds character or something. It's definitely building something. I've only seen really chipmunks and squirrels so far. Nothing too exciting. Huff and puff up the hill. I'm a pretty good singer. I think oh, there's G. Let's huff and puff to G. Maybe I'll sing some songs later. I'm really good. A lot of people say I sound like a young Bono, you know, from YouTube. Like Bono from the 90s, before he got kind of weird, when he was just making good music. If Bono's watching this right now, which he probably is, nothing personal. All right, G. Gee whiz. Here's G. We got 2.5 miles. We're gonna go. Let's see here, we got 2 miles to the left, 31 to the right. Probably should be 3.1, which is, that would take us back to that white trail. We're not going that way. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's not 3 point, it's dock 3. So dock 3, 1 mile to the right, 2 miles to the left. So if I go to the right, that's a shortcut. But we're not doing shortcuts today. We're having fun. We're taking the long way, the path less taken, if you will. I should copyright that line. It's pretty original. This is definitely the road less traveled. God, that's a good line. I should totally, I gotta trademark that. I gotta get the copyright on that for sure. It's really good. It's a really good, like, I don't know if it's a metaphor. I think it's just true. People, we're kind of getting to the point now where the day hikers don't generally come out this far, I don't think. Well, let's put it like this. I don't know. I don't live here in the woods. At least I will for this weekend, but normally I'm not living out here. But in my experience, once we leave that red line, it's kind of like a loop. Once we get past that loop, which we are, you don't see as many people. In fact, in this section here, I don't think I've ever seen anyone, which is good. That's nice. Nice and quiet, at least except for me, because I'm crunching leaves and talking to myself in a camera. The path out here is still really well taken care of. My hat's off to whoever takes care of that. All right. So it's onto the dock. I'm going to stop, unload, probably top off my water. I'm about halfway through my 2-liter water jug. I've got a 2-liter Nalgene jug. I'm going to show it to the camera later. I think it's the biggest jug I've ever seen in my life. It's probably like a world record or something. I don't know. What a nice fall day. The trail through here is really well blazed. It's been clear so far, it's been dry, it's been great. I'm making great time. In fact, I pulled back my pace a little bit just because I thought I was pressing a little too much, worried about my timing because I was late today, but we're making good time. We got lots of blazes, the blues and the yellows, painted on trees. Really nice day again. Haven't run into anybody, which I'm surprised considering how many cars are in the parking lot. It gets a little muddy here and there. The leaves get a little slick, but not bad conditions, really not. So I found another really cool mushroom. I have no idea what it's called, but it looks neat. It's kind of growing into on the side of a tree into a fence. We've got a really nice little ravine action we just passed through, so why not take a minute to take some good pictures of this guy. It looks almost like a beehive or a honeycomb or something. So a little ravine here, lots of ravines. I just took a couple of nice pictures from the other side of this ravine, but really pretty, like glacial grooved kind of rock formation. There's a nice little cave in there that'll probably make a super cool campsite. I don't think they want us camping in there, but it does look like maybe there was a fire pit down there. I don't know. Kind of looks like a little rock ring down there. Really pretty, really pretty. Trails have been great so far. Really well kept. Whoever's taking care of them is doing a fine job. I give you 5 out of 5 stars so far. I'm just gonna keep plugging on. I've been stopping to take too many pictures. It's slowing me down, but I thought about it and I'm like, am I really stopping to take too many pictures? Or am I stopping just to enjoy myself, which is, it's kind of the reason I'm out here. So I guess I shouldn't be too critical considering I'm having a good time. We've come across our first obstacle, which is this tree that is in the middle of the path. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, that I've been worried about. And I can't remember if this is the actual tree that, like, you see there's like a hole kind of hacked through the center. That might have been the tree I had problems with before. I don't know if I'm that far up yet, but it's easy enough to get around now. It's not as overgrown as last time. So I'm just gonna kind of sidestep it here a little bit. Oh, we got some people. So I ran into some nice people that had some nice dogs, so I got to pet a dog, which is nice. Really pretty collie. I like dogs, so that was good. And they want to know how far back to the parking lot, which is, I don't know. I'm guessing at least 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles, which they didn't seem to be too terribly happy about, but it is what it is. And they said for me, it's about 1.5 miles to the boat dock. So, which is fine. We're doing good. Hustling a little bit. The sun's still in the sky, so that's a bonus. So I just checked the GPS, I'm about 1/3 of a mile from the boat dock, at least what I'm pretty sure is the boat dock. I should be skirting the edge of the group camp area. In fact, if I kind of turn, there's a ridge right behind me. If I were to go up that ridge, that should be the group camp area. It's a pretty big area where they do group camping, like the Boy Scouts do jamborees or whatever they do there. And I know they run cross-country meets there and stuff like that. So it's a big, wide open area. I've camped there a couple times with my daughter. It's okay. It's good because it's free. It's bad because it's pretty wide open. And we generally hammock camp instead of tent. So it's kind of hard to find trees. And it's really hard to find firewood. Firewood's kind of a bear up there if you're looking to gather rather than bring your own. I'm also, I don't know if you can hear the boat. I've been skirting the edge of the lake for a couple miles now. And I don't really get a good eye of it or a good shot of it just because the leaves are still on the trees. So it's still pretty leafy. I imagine in the winter time you would see, probably get a much better view. It's a pretty lake though. When I do get a glimpse through the trees, it's not too bad. I passed a guy fishing about a 1/2 mile ago. Hopefully he catches a lot of fish. And so we're almost to our first full planned break stop. I'm getting super hungry. The cup of coffee I got at Speedway this morning apparently wasn't enough. So I'm gonna probably eat a protein bar. And we'll stop and take a look at the map and see where I am and see where I need to go for today as far as my first goal. And so far, so good. I have my official map here. Just get the front page here. The Burr Oak State Park. It's the backpackohio.com map. Really nice map, great instructions, stuff like that. So I, according to this map, am at the 4.4 mile mark. This is boat dock 3. I could camp here, but I have to pay, and I've already said a couple times I'm against that. Not a bad spot here. They have some latrine toilets, some pit latrine toilets that I just used. Pretty nice. They're pit latrine toilets. I mean, nice is kind of a, they are what they are. There's water here, it looks like, until October 15th. So today's the 12th. So 3 more days of water. I'm going to refill here. I've gotten water here before and it's been fine, so not a big deal. There's only one campsite being used here. There aren't a ton of campsites at this location, but usually it's a little busier than this, but that's fine. So we are, according to this, I've really only got 2 options to camp for free, and I got to get to Wildcat Hollow. So it's about a 2-mile jaunt to Wildcat Hollow. If I remember from last time, it's pretty flat, so I should be able to hoof it and get there in time to make a nice fire, have a good dinner, stuff like that. And then tomorrow I'm going to have a pretty decent trek. I need to get to, I think I got to do a good 10 miles tomorrow, so I'm on time and where I need to be. Overall, it's going to be a 23-mile hike. Mainly because I have to go an extra 1.5 miles or 2 miles. See, it's 21.2 miles normally for the loop, 23.2 for the Cove camping option, which I have to take if I want to camp for free, which I do. I'll walk an extra 2 miles to camp for free, and that's not a lie. So I just had a protein bar, drink of water. We're gonna pack up here and set sail for Wildcat Hollow. We'll give you a little glimpse of what we're doing here. We've got the beautiful latrine toilets behind us. Beautiful. Little water fountain over here. There's water at the group camping area as well. Their water, they should have that from October and November. Let's take a little look-see at the lake. There's some people just come in on their pontoon boat. They're pontooning. It's not a very big lake, horsepower restricted, I believe. It's pretty nice and quiet. Really nice and quiet. So time to pack up and get hoofing. It's a little after 3 o'clock, so I'm making better time than I thought I was. So that's all I got. Let's get moving. All right, we had a little break, had a little snack, checked the maps, and it's time to keep trucking. On the boardwalk, boardwalk. What do they say? Like a young Bono. Come up to this one place, I remember it from before. It's pretty like ghostly, if you will. It's this random metal bridge, like, I don't know, it's pretty wild. Here, let's check it out. We'll hop on my shoulder here and we'll go across. It's a pretty rando bridge. That's going to be a really cool picture. We're going to have to take some pictures real quick. Come with me, my friends, across this spooky bridge in the woods. It's like one of the most random bridges I've ever seen in my life. Have a really pretty, some pine trees. These are all pine trees, not fir. There's a difference. Let's take a little look, quietly. So we're coming up on, this is where the trail where we take the road for a little bit. There are some homes here. Little house action going on. Now I believe, make a left. Oh, look, a garage sale. Well, at least the sign says garage at one point in time. There's a cat. Ooh, let's go see a cat. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, he does not want to talk to me. Out there's a feral cat. Kitty, kitty, kitty. No, he just ran a little faster. Okay. Some little houses out here. And the trail should pop off this road here in just a sec. Yeah, that cat's trucking. I don't know if you probably can't see him. He's a ways up there. Man, if I pet a dog today, if I could pet a cat too, how great would that be? What a nice day. So, quick little jaunt on this county road, and we're back in the thick of things. So there's maybe, I don't know, there are some markers here. I think they just mean keep going, because that looks pretty dense in there. I don't know. Let's keep an eye out for blazes. Okay, here we are. Not too far up the old road here. And I see the little inn sign. All right, here we go. Back into the woods. So I haven't shown any pictures, but I've been finding lots of walnuts. Lots of these walnuts everywhere. Kind of like break them open. Not going to, because then it's going to like stain everything, but I don't know, walnuts. Really good for throwing at people, especially if you want to do damage. These suckers, man, that would really hurt. So lots of walnuts on the trail today. Acorns, hickory nuts. Another walnut right there. Walnuts! Okay, stop screwing around, Casey. We got to get going before the sun goes down. Found another cool thing out here, like not too far after the walnuts. These call these things monkey apples. If I can get a little better right there, get in the shadow. Almost looks like a round cauliflower, like a brain or something. They're kind of cool. My mom used to always say she would go and we'd get monkey apples and we'd put them in like our closet or stuff. It's supposed to keep away moths or whatever. They kind of have a weird smell to them. It's kind of a sweet smell. I guess weird. It doesn't smell bad. But that's what we used to do with them. I don't know if that's like, I don't know. I have to look up a little bit more about them. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's pretty cool. All right, let's, got a little garage sale going on over here. Should be getting pretty close. We need to hoof it as the sun starts to go down. All right, so we've reached location I. Let's take a look at the map. This is so we're up in where it's more of a river system right now, and we are if we're at I, that means I'm really close to Wildcat Hollow. I've just got a little jaunt over and make a right and head to that parking lot and camp there for the night. So we're reaching the northernmost point of the lake. See it off to the side there. There's a really pretty, kind of like a lookout area up here. I'll try and hustle. I'll get up there. It's really cleared out here. They mow this section for whatever reason. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But it makes for some fast walking. I'm not allowed to camp here, which is a shame because there's a really pretty spot that we're heading towards that would be awesome to set my hammock up on for the night. But, you know, gotta follow the rules. Gotta follow the rules. All right, we're almost there. Yeah, here it is. There's been a campfire here before. Oh, here it is. Little point there. And down here, this would be a cool little spot. See, people have been fishing and campfiring and leaving their garbage. Thanks, people. It's a nice little point. So between here and Wildcat Hollow, I've got basically a floodplain to cross, and we'll be there. It's been, I don't know, 2 years since I've been here, and there's some improvements here, which are pretty crazy, but check this out, dude. This is wildness right here. Just wildness. Look at that madman. Look at that madman. Man, last time I came through here, I walked through the dang creek. Now I get to walk across this sweet bridge that is clearly like brand new. Oh man, the luxury of a brand new bridge. It's a nice bridge, man. Steel bridge. This cost a pretty penny. Oh, so luxurious, this bridge. This bridge is pretty great. My boots aren't gonna get wet. How amazing. I almost feel like I'm in the wrong spot. But I'm not. I've got yellow blazes. Well, shoot. And I've got what looks like a road up here. Is there another bridge? There's no way. There's no way. No way there's another bridge here. I got my boots wet twice last time. I'll be a son of a biscuit. Huh. This is amazing. This is life-changing. This is life-changing. I kind of feel like the route has changed though. So there's a yellow blaze. We'll see. Man, 2 bridges. I can't believe it. It's the best day I've ever had. Wow. Another bridge. Well, something that's been covered in rocks or whatever, but there's a yellow chain. Shallst I dare to cross? I shall. Oh, you can see, that must be where the old trail went, was through there. Huh. Very nice, very nice. 2 bridges, one day. Who would have known? We're almost to Wildcat Hollow, I can see it. And it looks like there's a moron convention there. So that's just awesome. There are a bunch of people already here, I'm hollering. A bunch of freaking car campers acting like morons. So this means I'm gonna have to hike in a little ways, which adds to my day. What a bunch of turds. In the meantime, let me welcome you to Wildcat Hollow. This is apparently like an OU frat party. Got the little Wildcat Hollow trailhead sign and a parking lot that is just packed full of people. Awesome. Well, luckily, the moron convention didn't make it past the parking lot because the first couple campsites are open. So let's take a look at what we got here. I've camped at this site before with my daughter. It's not too bad. There's only a little bit of trash for me to pick up. And I think I see a dead standing that I can use for firewood. So we're gonna unload here and get camp set up. So for tonight's dining pleasure, I've got a sweet potato. I'm going to wrap in this foil and bake. The fire's getting pretty good. We're going to do a little dirty steak, and I got some onion here. So Should be pretty good dinner. I bought this ultra light backpacking cutting board. It's pretty cool. I had a roll-up one I used before and it was awful. This is definitely a lot better. I like sweet potatoes, but when you cook them, especially out here, they seem to take forever. I kind of cut them up a little bit. Hopefully it'll speed their heating. And it's like a little foil football. And get these suckers cooking. My sweet potatoes, I don't know how well you can see this, but I just checked them. I kind of pulled them out of the fire, moved them around a little bit, make sure they're heating evenly. I'm keeping them off the flame. I don't want them to get directly in the flame. It'll probably burn right through my foil here. They're getting pretty soft. I got a little water here. I've got some apple green tea I'm going to have with my dinner. And the coals are perfect for my dirty steak that I'm going to throw on here. I don't know. Let's just do it now. Let's just do it right now. Just kind of move it around a little bit. Got a nice little coal pocket right there. This will be perfecto. Some of the bloody stuff out. This bag is definitely going in my bear bag. So that steak right on them coals. This bag is an animal attractant plus 10. Alright. Steak on some nice hot coals there. Get a little bit of the old seasoning on it. Oh yeah. Dirty steak, baby. That's where it's at. Dirty steak. It's so dirty. Now if I had a nice hot bit of coals here, which I think I did, shouldn't be too much sticking to it. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That is super hot. Just gotta brush that off. Oh shoot, that's hot. Okay. Fire is hot, apparently. Let me shed a little light on the matter. Let me see this here. My steak going. It's cooking up real pretty like. Last time I did this, I had a really fatty steak, and man, that sucker cooked amazingly. It's fantastic. Sucker will be done here. Just takes a couple minutes. Sweet potatoes they're doing okay. Some are a little more cooked than the others. That's okay. Our tea is just starting to boil up there. Good. It'll be dinner before you know it. Some of my potatoes and onions are still cooking, but right in here I've got my apple green tea. I have a dinner fit for a king, and more coming, which is good. Time to eat. I am starving. You know, I wasn't sure if you knew how to eat a steak, but here's how you do it. You get that onion in there, like that, in your fork, and then give her the old stabberoni, and then eat it like that. It's so good. It was really good. You're missing out tremendously. Tremendous dinner. Always like to have fresh meat first night. Just put that steak in the freezer. It's thawed out by the time you hit your campsite. And it's not super hot out today. So it's not like, you know, it's going to go bad or get weird or anything. Try not to be too jealous. It's super good. A little char on my sweet potato. I'm eating steak all by myself because my friends don't like to go backpacking. God, I'm such a good singer. Voice of a generation, I've been told. Voice of a generation. I like these crispy bits. Get a little wood chip in there. It's just a little extra fiber. A little fiber for you. Where's my onion guy? Where's my onion at? Get on up here. Do some onion stuff here. Doing some onion things. Tomorrow's dinner's not as exciting. That's it. That's it, boys and girls, right there. So, hung my bear bag, cleaned up camp. Actually, out here it's more of a possum raccoon bag. not a lot of bears. The only bear I know of is Ricky, and he's pretty chill. He's really not a lot of bears around here. In fact, I feel bad for Ricky. He's allergic to nuts, which I think that's why he has such a hard time out here. He really struggles because he can't, you know, forage for nuts like walnuts and stuff like that. So shout out to Ricky. He's a pretty nice bear. I don't think he'd ever get into my stuff. He's pretty cool. But the possums and raccoons, they're jerks. And they always make a lot of noise. And they try to get into my stuff, and I don't like it. So I'm reading a book here in the old hammock. I didn't put on my base layer, my under layer, because I feel like it's starting to get a little chilly, but my hammock game's pretty dialed in. I'm not that worried about it. And if it gets cold, I'll just go and throw it on in the middle of the night. So, not a big deal. And I'm pretty tired. I'm going to read my book here for a little bit and then pass out. The Moron Convention, up at the front, let me give you an update there. Moron might have been a harsh term. They've quieted down quite a bit since it got dark out, so I get a little judgmental sometimes. I might have pulled the trigger a little too quick on that. They seem to be all right, so they're making some noise, but nothing over the top. They were a little rowdy earlier. I was really nervous, so things are good. I'm tired. Had a good dinner. Fires put out, bear bags hung, things put away, and it's time to read a book and go to bed.